Hello! Gabby here from Print Design Academy, where we teach graphic designers how to be experts in print and packaging design. Now we're at step 3 in our Print Ready Files series. If you need to catch up on the first 2, go ahead and do that. If you're all caught up, welcome to step 3, working with photos and getting them ready for print. Now dust off that Photoshop and let's go.
So today is all about photos. So photos we use them all the time. They're a great visual story. Now, RGB, we can't submit any swatches, things like that in RGB. The same goes for our photos. So I'm going to take you through Photoshop and show you how to best convert your images and also a few tricks on how to get your file sizes down as well. So yeah, but we'll go through it with Photoshop and then kind of show you how to put it into InDesign and Illustrator after. Let's take a look. So here we are in InDesign. Whether it's kind of InDesign or Illustrator, honestly, a lot of this is going to be in Photoshop. But anyway, here we are. So I want to start off by saying that links are your best friend when using photos. If you want to quickly change an image and you just want to swap it out, having that original image linked means you can just do that really quickly without having to resize and refit and delete the other one. So highly recommend, and especially in this instance where we do need to update our images to be print friendly, the links really save you because you can just swap it out instantly, right? So with that being said, let's open up our links panel. So in this links panel, I can go ahead and click my link of this photo, and it's highlighting it up here. Now, this links panel is super handy because especially the InDesign one has a lot more information than the Illustrator one, but I can see right away what color space my images are, as well as the DPI. The DPI, PPI, we touched upon it a little bit when we were doing document setup. 300 DPI is the way to go for print. 72 DPI is screen. So by nature, naturally default, photos are going to be RGB and 72 DPI because that's just how screen and computers work, right? So I want to make sure that I'm converting this into CMYK and also making it 300 DPI. You can also see this information down below here as well, where it says color space RGB and 72 PPI. Something to note as well, InDesign does this where it shows you the effective PPI. Now, just for a quick little brief on that, is when you have something, let's say this file is 6,000 by 4,000 pixels. So the actual original image is huge. And the sizing that I'm using it with is, I can see up here is around 5 inches by 4 inches. So it's kind of a smaller little section for it. So how effective PPI DPI works is I have this massive 6,000 pixel file, and it's only 72 DPI, which isn't a lot of pixels per dot, but pixels per inch. But when I'm forcing it to scale down, it almost is like that kind of retina thing, right, with screens. So you're forcing it smaller, so it almost doubles or triples the dots per inch. And in this case, instead of it being 72 DPI, it's actually showing it up at like 1,000 PPI DPI. That's way too much that we need, it's way too much than what we actually need for print. And so just getting it sized appropriately can kind of actually help with some of your file sizings. And it's just not necessary to have it that large. So with that being said, let's head over into Photoshop and edit some of these links. So I'm going to go ahead and right click here, edit with Photoshop. So you can do that right away within the app. Now, when I'm doing that, I do want to save this as a CMYK version. I will always have a regular version and then I will make my CMYK version because who knows, maybe you want to use this photo later for a social media campaign and you want to keep it in RGB. So before I get started, I'm going to go ahead really quickly, save as, and we're going to change it to CMYK. And I'm going to do it on the top level here so we don't lose it. And then, also good to title we're using a free stock photo here, but titling your artwork, things like that, it just helps with the workflow. But anyway, I left it as is. So it's a JPEG now. It's fine. We're going to work in it. CMYK, cool. I know I'm not going to mess up with the original. So here we go. The first thing we want to do is change the color space. It's super easy. We're just going to go Image, Mode, and CMYK color. It's going to ask you if you want to change that. Yeah, we do. We wanted to do that on purpose. The other color modes are here are grayscale, there's duotone, a few things up in here. I mean, you don't really need them other than CMYK. If you have a special project, you can talk to your printer about it. But yeah, so image, mode, CMYK. Now I do recommend if you are doing any, like this was a JPEG, if you're photoshopping stuff and kind of in the midst of working on things, I would personally, you either start your entire photoshopping process in CMYK, or you finish your editing, lock it down, and then convert the whole thing at CMYK in the end. Because some of the adjustment layers don't actually function with CMYK. They work better in RGB. Anyway, stuff like that. So yeah, CMYK, we're in it. I can tell because this also here, I mean, this says CMYK because I named it that, but this section here is the important one. So that tells me that it is in CMYK. The asterisk shows me that it's not saved yet. Anyway, so image is our menu tab we're going to use here. So we did image mode. The next one is image size. So I want to make this 300 dpi right off the bat. Like we know that. I'm going to keep resample on as automatic. Resampling, it's kind of a more, like if you're going smaller, it basically has to do with how it's pulling the information next to the pixels within the photo. Automatic is perfectly fine. Now you'll notice that my file was 91 megabytes. But because we forced it to 300 resolution, it also bumped the width and height to match kind of proportionately. So that puts us at 83 inches large. I don't need that file to be that big. That's putting it at 1.55 gigabytes for the image, for the sizing. And that's going to bring my file sizing way too large. So before I commit to this, I'm going to head over to my InDesign file. I'm going to get a sense of how wide I need this file to be at the very max. I am using it, like I said, kind of in 5 inches. Anytime you're working with a photo, you want to, whether it's like a full page photo, you definitely want to keep into account your bleed sizing that you have, right? So make sure everything is also incorporating those bleed little extra inches and such. So it's 5.1 with like 3 inches high. Let's kind of get a rough estimate there. So let's go with whatever kind of comes first. So if that's 5, yeah, 5 width with, let's do actually 5.2. There we go. Okay, so already, even though we upped that resolution, but by bringing the width and height more appropriate to like what the size is actually going to be, it was going to be 91 megabytes before, and now we're down to 6 megabytes. So our file size for print is already going to be smaller. I'm going to hit OK, and then I'm going to hit save because I had my CMYK version saved. And then that is that. Let's just go ahead and finish with the other file before I start linking them back in. So the next one here is this other one. Again, RGB 72. I'm going to edit with Photoshop. We are going to do quickly image mode, CMYK. Yes, please. And image size, we're going to go for 300. And then same sort of situation, we're going to get a sense of how big this file actually is. So we're kind of at 5.1 again, 2.7. So if we do, let's say 5.2, just to make it easy. There, it's a little larger than it needs to be, but it's still good because it's smaller. So I'm going to hit resample. Okay, good. And there we go. And then, I didn't save this one yet. So we're going to do a save as, and we're going to make sure it is the CMYK. Okay, at the end. And hit OK. JPEG is fine. Maximum. And yeah, so that is our JPEG images. And we're going to use these. So this is the same process, whether it was Illustrator, etc. So I'm just going to reuse these when we start linking in Illustrator later. But anyway, so let's head back to InDesign so I can show the sort of relinking process. So with this link here already, remember RGB 72, I'm going to quickly go down to this little link that says relink. You can also right click relink. And let's find our CMYK version. So that is going to be here. That's that one with the CMYK, yep. Hit open. And that was it. It was so smooth, like it resized it, kept it in the same size scaling, so you didn't even notice that it changed. But here I can tell that it is correct because it's CMYK and 300. And I can check my PPI, 305, so that's more true to the actual size of the image. And we're at 2 megabytes, so nice and small file sizes here. Again, with this one, so that's at 4 megabytes. I'm gonna relink this, and we're at that one. Damn, so now we're at like 300 DPI, CMYK, we're at 2.8 megabytes. Again, smaller file size, and that is ready to go. So those are all nice and linked, and those images are converted. And that's photos in InDesign.
Hey there, you're clearly interested in learning more about print design. An important part of that is exporting your file for print. It's easy to miss little things along the way, so that's why we created the Print Ready Files checklist. And you can get that for free at the link in the description of this video. This easy to follow, step-by-step checklist will help you make sure your files are print ready before you send them to the printer. Graphic designers of all levels will find this to be a valuable tool. And it's free, so go check it out at the link in the description, and back to the video.
Okay, so on to Illustrator. Again, we've already sort of worked with our photos, so they're already completed, and I'm just really gonna relink these in here rather than showing you the process again. Now the links panel, again, if you're missing it, window, and you'll find links here. So links work slightly differently than the InDesign ones. It does still show you the RGB PPI, but you don't get the same functionality as the within column view, which I find really helpful. But yeah, so let's just quickly relink these. Same situation, relink button down here. I can relink this. Let's go ahead and get it at this next level here. So this is the Drew Farewell one, and I have this as the CMYK. And that's that. So that relinked really quickly. It's now showing CMYK, it's showing 300 here. Awesome. Let's just do a quick little check on this one. So that's the other image. This is showing me RGB, right? And that really massive PPI that's not super necessary for this. And I'm going to just quickly relink it with that one, place it, bam, CMYK 300, and that is Illustrator. Nice and simple once you've got those images all reformatted, etc.
So there you go, your photos should all be print ready. The next step in getting your file ready for print is tidying up that type, which we go over in video 4 of this Print Ready File series, so head over here for some more.